So in the draft, we'll select the draft. Okay, now it is asking me the face which I have to draft. Okay, so suppose I want to draft this face, and my neutral element is, suppose this is my neutral element. Okay, now the basic reason of drafting is so while we are creating patterns for cast, when we take the cast out of the pattern, due to friction between the pattern face and the cast, the surface finish of the cast may deteriorate. Okay, so for that purpose we provide drafts to the pattern, so while removing it won't be rubbing with the face of the pattern. Okay, so when I click on preview, now you can see it is creating a draft. Okay, suppose I click, now you can see it has drafted the face by 5 degree. Okay, so in this way we can draft this. Suppose, okay, so these two will study while studying about the fillet command. Okay, so these two and these two will leave at the end of the session or lecture. Okay, so now we'll move on to a fourth feature in the dresser feature, that is shell. Suppose now when I select a plane, okay, and I see the cross section, I select the plane and I see the cross section. Now you can see it is a thick body. Okay, this body is a thick body. So what we can do over here is, suppose we don't want a thick body, we want a hollow body over here. So I'll select this shell command. Okay, now what it is asking me, the default inside thickness and the default outside thickness. Suppose this is the face. Okay, this is the face surface, so if the default thickness, it would add thickness below this face, and the default outside thickness would be, it would add thickness outside this face. So suppose I mention the thickness to be 5 mm. Okay, now in shell you will have to remove a face so you can see the shell. Okay, because if you don't remove the shell, you won't be knowing whether the particular model is a solid model or a hollow model. Okay, so I'll select this face I want to remove. Okay, I've selected the face. Okay, I have selected the face. Now here are some other features here. Other thickness faces means if you want to give thickness to this face as a different face. Okay, so you can select that too also. I'll click on OK. Now as you can see, the object which was previously a solid body has turned into a hollow body. Okay, of uniform thickness 5 mm over each area. Okay, so in this way we have got a shell out of a solid body. Okay, now I'll delete it. Now we'll move on to our next feature, that is this feature. Okay, thread or tab. For this we'll require a cylindrical body. So I'll draw a cylinder quickly. Suppose this is my circle, and I pad it up to the length of 100. Okay, so I've got a circle of 100 mm depth. Okay, now what I'll do over here is I'll thread or tab, give it a thread or tab. Suppose, so it is asking me the lateral faces. This is my lateral face. Okay, and my limit face is the face up to which my threads are going to be. So this is my limit face. Okay, now it is showing, as you can see in the figure, this much is the depth. Okay, So if you want to see, when I increase the depth, I can increase the depth from here. I can specify I want the depth to be 55. So this much is the area where the actual threads are going to be, okay, and the diameter of the thread. Okay, so suppose I increase the diameter of the thread, so this would be the thread diameter. Okay, no, so actually okay, so we have got the thread diameter. Now we have to specify the pitch, means for threading. More lesser we will provide the pitch, more number of threads we are going to see on the face. Okay, so and from here we can select whether we want a left hand thread or right hand thread. Okay, we can also select whether we want a thread or a tap. Okay, tap or a thread. So we are going to give it a thread. We can provide tap in a hollow section. Suppose we have a cylinder and we want to give a tap inside in it, so we can place a screw later on. So we will provide a tap. Suppose I am giving the outer surface thread, so I'll use thread. Okay, so I have selected a thread. From here I have selected no standard, and I have specified the thread diameter, okay, and thread depth, and the pitch I have selected is 1 mm. Now preview and click OK. So now we have given, what we have done here is we have given threads to this particular cylinder. Okay, but you won't be able to see it, okay, because of the complexity and the load it would give to the software. That's why the software doesn't show us the threads or the tabs which we insert in on a 3D model. Okay, so we'll see it when we are working in the drafting. Okay, we'll be able to see those threads when we are working in drafting. That is the module 5, fifth module. Okay.